Hi, Kelly Bowen from Lifestyle Finance Australia, and I would like to share with you my 6 keys to creating lasting abundance in your life. So the first one is you've got to resign from the magic pill chasing. And I can get away with saying that because I was the biggest magic pill chaser that ever existed. And in resigning from this, it allowed me to commit wholeheartedly to something and really start making traction in business. And when I say give up the magic pill chasing, this is my first ever jump in at business. I was young, in my early 20s, and I was looking for my thing. I was looking for my big break. And I was wanting something that I could invest money in, didn't really have to do anything, and I was gonna get a really awesome return from it. You can already see the writing on the wall with this one, right? Anyway, along came the opportunity. I had, through the little spiritual shop that I used to go to and used to love going there to see my psychic and find out about my future, there was this opportunity for a health product. And this health product was meant to heal your gut health and cure all sorts of uncurable diseases. And all they were looking for, I think it was 4 investors. You got 5% of the company. You only had to invest $34,000 and you were meant to get over a 6-figure return within the space of a couple of years. And I was like, beauty, this is it. This is gonna be my big thing. So I managed to get the money together. I even managed to rope in a couple of people to go in with me because I didn't quite have that much money myself. So there was 3 of us that all went in on this. And do you know what we did? We were so into this big break. We literally put all our money together, got their bank details, walked into the bank, deposited into their bank account, no contract signed, no market research, purely going off a hunch of what our psychic told us, who was also invested in this business, that she had a good hunch that this was going to work out. And as you can imagine, this was a spectacular disaster. And it turned out the guy that actually created the health product, that the product had meant to have magically cured him from his bowel cancer, a couple of years later died of bowel cancer. And down the toilet went my health product, my dreams, and my big break. And this was my very first lesson in stop looking for a magic pill. There is no magic pill. The pathway to abundance is finding something that sets your heart on fire and following it and seeing it through. There is no quick fix, simple solution. It's really what you put into it. So key number 1, don't do what I did. Don't chase the magic pill. Bet on yourself and follow it through to completion. Number 2, so second thing that's really important when you want to create lasting abundance in your life is to get present to all the abundance you already have. And when I say that, even if your bank accounts aren't reflecting what you're wanting to feel, that's okay. Start general and work your way in. So if money's really not feeling good, I always like to go to nature. And when I look at nature and notice just how abundant nature is, it always helps me tune into this. I've seen little what do they call them? Little sprouts coming out of concrete. It's how could you possibly be growing there? Yet life is still coming out of cracks in concrete. You know, you never think for a moment there's not going to be oxygen to breathe. There's always an abundance of oxygen. And then from there, I like to look back and go, well, look at the conditions I'm living in compared to how society was 200 years ago. We live better than the kings and queens of 200 years ago. They would die to have the luxuries that we do. They didn't have running water. They didn't have heating. They didn't have cooling. They didn't have the beautiful dwellings that we get to have. They didn't have cars and sealed roads. They had to horse and cart it, let alone planes. There is so much abundance around us if only we tune into it. And then particularly around money, then what I like to do is start to bring it in a little bit more specific and start to look around my room and notice what's in it, because everything that is in the room I'm standing in was once money. And the frequency has now transformed into couches, tables, pillows. Gosh, I'm looking at a camera right now. So there are so many ways that you can tune into money and the frequency of money without actually having to have money. So this is a little trick that I start to look at. And then go even further into being more specific around money is start to look over some of the magical experiences you've had because you've had money. And even if you don't have it in this very moment, that's okay. But the times when you did, what were some of the cool things you got to do with it? And this is when you start to become into vibrational alignment with both abundance and money. And the more that you can stay in this feeling state of abundance, the more you become a magnet for attracting more abundance in your life. So that's number 2. Then number 3, this is a really practical one. Stop avoiding your bank accounts and make friends with them. So I know for most people, doing this can sometimes bring up money trauma. And I remember like when I first started taking responsibility for my own accounts, I'd feel sick before I would look at them because like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. I've always kind of had a really good idea of knowing exactly how much is coming in and what's going out when. And I know like back in the early days of business where literally money was in, money was out, and sometimes couldn't make payments and had to shuffle stuff around, that's where this stuff gets really tight. So it's so important to make friends with your accounts. Know when your direct debits are. Know when you've got certain payments, credit cards, loans, that kind of stuff scheduled, and get really comfortable about it, because the more comfortable you are with how your money moves through your accounts, what you're actually doing is creating a really safe home for money to be in. And that also attracts more money in. And from a real like 3D practical level, there's this new thing called positive reporting that's been around for nearly 2 years now. You've probably heard me talk about it in maybe some of my other videos, but essentially what positive reporting does is reflects how well you manage your existing credit, how well you manage your existing commitments. So, and they grade you. They grade you whether you pay on time or whether you're 30 days late or 60 days late, and it shows on your credit file. And now banks, all different banks can opt into this, and they can see exactly what you've had. They can see exactly how well you manage it. So even if you're paying your credit card every month, but you're doing it consistently 8 days late, your credit report will reflect this and it will affect your credit score. So this is why it's so important to get on top of these things. Know when money's coming in, know when it's going out, know when you've got due dates on payments, and make sure they're paid beforehand or that you've got the money in the account, because it reflects on your credit score. And you don't want to be in a position where you do need to take advantage of finance and you can't because of something really simple like this. And money will love you for it. So that's my number 3. Which brings me to number 4. So number 4 is understand that your current level of income is a direct reflection of how much value you believe you're giving to others. So I'm very particular about saying you believe you give to others, because when this belief shifts and when you can find the true value that you have to offer others and you deeply believe in it, the universe can't help but reflect that back to you in more abundance, in more money, in more time freedom. So it's really important that if you're not feeling connected with the value that you're adding to other people's lives, but through what it is that you do, that you connect with this and maybe do the cleanup work around it so that you can really stand in your power and really stand in the knowing of what it is that you're offering so your abundance can reflect it. And then you've got number 5. So number 5 is learn what drives you and lights you up from the inside and what makes you really passionate. Because when you find this is your ticket to number 4, which is doing something that you know brings others immense value. And when you combine 4 and 5 together, that is number 6, which is when you get into this beautiful flow of lasting abundance, because when you do what you love, it attracts more abundance to you, and on goes the cycle. So I've hoped you found value in this. And if you do have a dream that you're wanting to invest in and you know that you may need help with some finance or getting access to funds for it, feel free to get in contact, because this is what we specialize in. We love helping make your dreams a reality by connecting you with the funds you need to make that happen. All you need to do is click the link somewhere above, below, to the side, depending upon where you're watching this. And as soon as we receive it, we'll be in contact and take care of the rest.